Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So the Game of Thrones season 4 finale just aired. It was called The Children and it aired on Father's Day, which I think is just brilliant planning on HBO's part. There's a lot of stuff we need to talk about, but real quick shout out for the giveaway. Just because you guys have been so awesome, I'm tripling the giveaway. I'm just picking 3 random subscribers from the comments on this video, and I'm just giving a $20 Amazon gift card to each. I'll announce who the winners are in my Q&A video tomorrow night. Because so many of you asked for a super long finale video, I compromised, and instead of focusing on like 5 really big WTF moments, I'm gonna do 10. Then I'll do my review. I briefly mentioned some season 5 stuff, but I'm gonna do a separate predictions video tomorrow for that. So careful for spoilers if you haven't seen the episode yet, but here we go. Number 10, Mance and Jon drink to dearly departed gingers. Mance is such an interesting character. He knows Jon Snow better than he knows himself. In case you didn't catch it last season, Mance used to be a brother of the Night's Watch, so he knows all their tricks, and that they have nothing left. There's basically no one left there. So the negotiation was more about Mance convincing Jon of his sincerity. They didn't want to conquer Westeros, they just wanted to hide behind the wall before the White Walkers invaded the Haunted Forest. They were inside the Haunted Forest, that was where that camp was, it's just north of the wall, and it was actually pretty close to the Weirwood where Jon burned Ygritte's body. Number 9, Stannis attacks the Wildlings. This was such an awesome reveal. I'd seen all the teasers for the episode, but for some reason my brain still thought White Walkers whenever that horn blew. It was also one of the best special effects sequences in the episode. If you've never played it, the opening title sequence, with all the miniatures, is an homage to the board game. So I felt like this scene was also an homage to that, just with the way the camera panned out and just showed both of those armies attacking from both sides. I also thought it was a thematic call out to the title of Book 3, Storm of Swords, with the swarm of men just charging in. I think the most exciting part was when the camera panned over and you see the other part of the army on the other side of the Haunted Forest. Almost like it's going to be a slow-moving train wreck, something so amazing that you just cannot look away from. That's actually a good metaphor for the episode, like the whole episode was a slow-moving train wreck that you just cannot look away from. Number 8, Qyburn saves the mountain. I'm a huge fan of Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein, so using Qyburn and the Mountain as analogs for those characters is so much fun. Those films are such big touchstones for Hollywood filmmakers. I always love it when directors pay homage to them, like when Pycelle called it his laboratory, and he referenced the fact that Qyburn had been thrown out of the Citadel for experimenting with necromancy. It's not necromancy like the White Walkers practice, like their magic. He was using chemistry, and it looked like he was in the process of transfusing the mountain's blood out, like the Manticore poison blood, although we did not see what he was replacing it with. That's something we can follow up on in my Season 5 predictions video. If you've read the books, please use the spoiler tag when commenting about the mountain, please. I always love to see fantasy cross over with science fiction, and I felt like this scene, the Frankenstein scene, really did that. Number 7, Cersei threatens Tywin with her twincest. The biggest surprise of this scene was the genuine WTF face Tywin made. I always thought that he knew what was going on and just chose not to let on, like he was too proud to let any of his outrage show. Cersei's threat was that she was just going to tell anyone that would listen about her twincest with Jaime if Tywin marched her down the aisle. She was definitely more motivated by her love for Tommen than her desire to not get married again, but yeah, she really did not want to be married to anyone. Even if there weren't any social restrictions, I feel like given the choice, she would not choose to marry Jaime. To be fair though, the Targaryens married brother to sister for the entire history of their family. I think the reason that people didn't call them out on it was because they had dragons to barbecue any critics. I also really loved the follow-up to this scene with Jaime whenever he was reading the White Book, and he just pushed it off the table like a glass of wine when they started to have sex. The White Book is a literary representation of the honorable deeds previous Kingsguard brothers have done, so by casting it off the table, Jaime was basically throwing away his honor. It's like Cersei is his heroine and he's been trying to quit all season and just cannot do it. Number 6, Daenerys has to chain her dragons up. Anyone who has had to crate train a puppy will understand how sad this was. As many WTF moments as there were in the episode, this was one of the only ones I did not cheer for. This was actually something that did happen in the books. Drogon starts to accidentally kill people. Viserion and Rhaegal are the only ones that get chained up because Drogon is still roaming free in the countryside, so we're not going to see him again till next season. The other big takeaway from this is that dragons that get chained up generally do not grow as large as dragons that just roam free. So Drogon is just going to continue to get bigger and bigger until they chain him up, or if they ever chain him up. Number 5, Jon burns Ygritte under the Weirwood. This actually reminded me a little bit of Return of the Jedi when Luke burned his father, Darth Vader's body in the forest. That tree is the same Weirwood where he took his Night's Watch oath. I love how a bunch of different characters eulogize Ygritte, like they're just recognizing what an amazing character she is. I really hope that someday she and Kit Harington get to work together in a movie or another TV show. It would just be so much fun. Number 4, Bran meets the Three-Eyed Raven and the Children of the Forest. This felt like one of the most important events on the show, like Bran was going to be crowned King of the Forest, like Luke Skywalker meeting Yoda for the first time. Yoda always knew that Luke was going to come learn from him, just like the Three-Eyed Raven had been watching Bran and the other characters their whole lives. If you didn't catch it, whenever he said, "I've had many names," it's just a reference to his identities before he became the Green Seer. Whenever he was alive, he was a Targaryen bastard named the Bloodraven. He was the son of Aegon IV, the king that precipitated the Blackfire Rebellion. I did a bonus video for the Bloodraven a little while ago, so I'll put a link in the description if you want to learn more about that character. I could do a whole video about Bran at that Weirwood, that whole big sequence. The homage to Ray Harryhausen with the Skeleton Warriors, that's actually from Clash of the Titans. Harryhausen was this really famous visual effects creator whose style just looked like this. He did it with real life models because it was before the age of digital effects. But now that the Children of the Forest are on the show, I can't wait to see how Bran's story unfolds as it relates to them and the White Walkers and this big greater war that's going on. Number 3, Brienne versus the Hound Battle Royale. This was one of the biggest changes from the books, but originally the Hound still did die in the books. He was just killed by people seeking the bounty on his head. They also didn't do the Lady Stoneheart character, which is who Brienne ended up running into in the books. So, because they got rid of these two big plot points, they had to do this shootout at the OK Vale Corral between Brienne and the Hound, just to rein the story back in before it got too far away from the books. It was just like them doing that whole big thing at Craster's house earlier this season. It was something from the books that they had to include to tie up a bunch of loose plots because of things they changed earlier in the season. So it's just like the ripple effect, as you get further and further along in the story, the changes get bigger and bigger until they do something to kind of rein it back in. And that's what this was for. But number 2, Arya refuses to kill the Hound. Arya is so cold now, it's actually hard to read her face. I think she knew the Hound was just trying to goad her on into mercy killing him, but because he couldn't read her, he just kept escalating things, trying to find out what would make her so mad that she'd do it. Inside, I think that he secretly did not wish that he had actually visited all those hordes on Sansa. I think he really just wanted to die, and he was just willing to say anything to get her to kill him. I totally love that she did not. It shows that she's even darker than you thought. Remember where the heart is, Arya. You're headed to Braavos. The coin scene was right out of the books, and isn't it convenient that a Braavosi ship just happened to be sitting there in the port she was near? It should be noted, though, that she did try to join Jon at the Wall, so that could have been possible in like an alternate timeline. Because they kept Braavos in the opening credits for so many episodes, I was pretty sure they were going to do this scene eventually. Braavos is actually one of the coolest places we're going to get to visit next season. I've already done a bonus video for that, so I'll put another link in the description in case you want to learn more about it. But my number 1 WTF moment, of course, Tyrion kills Tywin and Shae. Their whole relationship distilled into 3 long minutes. There's so many things that stand out about this sequence. First off, there was the big change with Tyrion and Jaime. The way that he left them was a big change from the books. I'd say it was as big of a change as the Brienne and the Hound scene. In the books, Jaime told Tyrion that his first wife was not a whore, and Tywin just made her go away, so Tyrion vows revenge on his entire family. The way this show changed it allows them to hold on to that brotherly bond between them. Jaime and Tyrion will always love each other, as opposed to the books where Tyrion hates everyone. It's a change that I'm really happy with, and I'm interested to see if it comes back around in a future season at some point. The Shae scene where he kills her is actually really close to the books too. He choked her with his father's gold chain of office, the chain that the Hand of the King wears. They showed the chain dangling, but it was kind of hard to see if you weren't looking for it. Who else got goosebumps whenever Peter Dinklage was dragging the crossbow on his way to Tywin? I actually did believe him when Tywin said that he never planned for Tyrion to die, like he was never going to let him be killed. My favorite moment, though, was the reload. Not Tywin's words, not the speech, just Tyrion casually reloading the crossbow and shooting him again. If you didn't catch it too, whenever they escape, Varys turns around and gets on the boat with him, so they're both headed east. Now it's your turn, though. Let me know in the comments below, what was your biggest WTF moment, and were there any big surprises, things that you didn't expect? I know it's kind of hard with a show like Game of Thrones when it's based on a bunch of books that everyone has already read. I was really surprised by the Brienne versus the Hound throwdown and Stannis arriving at the Wall. Overall, I gave the episode a solid A+ for being my new favorite Game of Thrones finale. I think the way they changed the plot helped keep it from being too predictable. Even if there were some big book moments, I can't stop thinking about that fight scene between Brienne and the Hound. I'm actually wondering if that scene was part of the reason Gwendolyn Christie got cast in Star Wars Episode 7. I'll go on to say that that fight was almost as awesome as Oberyn Martell versus the Mountain. It's hard to pick one actor delivering the best performance in the episode. I will say that Peter Dinklage and Lena Headey really stood out, but that's not really a surprise. They're two of the best actors on the show. Maisie Williams is definitely going to be someone that you need to watch closely next season. She just keeps getting better and better. Rory McCann, hands down, had the best death in the episode, and probably the series, but let me know in the comments, do you think that anyone on the show had a better death than the Hound? I know we didn't see him die, it just ended with him yelling at Arya, but I don't think he's going to be coming back next year. And I didn't mention it in my top 10 moments, but Arya and Brienne bonding over being tomboys was just so much fun. I love the way the show plays with expectations. I thought that she'd be the one to go after the Hound, but it was Arya and the Hound that went after her for thinking she was on the Lannister payroll. I mean, who among us can't also say that we would also like a Valyrian blade if one just happened to walk along? I'm going to dedicate a separate video to Season 5 predictions and plotlines, but things that were pretty clearly foreshadowed were the Mountain turning into Frankenstein's monster, Arya going to Braavos, Bran with the Green Seer, and Stannis at the Wall. So I'll be posting that video tomorrow on Monday with my Q&A. Be sure to subscribe to get it. After that, I'll probably do like one more bonus video during the week, and then I'll just start doing weekly bonus videos on Sundays. So we can still totally do Game of Thrones Sundays until Season 5 gets here in April. So right now, click here to get that Q&A video, and click here to get my Season 5 video. I'll add the annotations as soon as I post the videos. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone go and rewatch the episode right now. High fives. I'll see you tomorrow.